Today is Wednesday, February 21st, and I've found 3 or 4 different stories I'm wondering about in the world of sports.
And now, a word from our title sponsor.
Are all financial advisors fiduciaries? Fewer than you think. Not knowing could reduce your lifestyle. Hi, I'm Mitch Kramer, founder and CEO of Fluent Financial. A fiduciary is a regulatory term to reduce conflicts of interest in wealth management. A fiduciary always works in your best interest. A non-fiduciary advisor might put their compensation or company ahead of yours. At Fluent Financial, we are certified financial planners acting as fiduciary advisors. To learn more, go to fluentfinancial.com or Fluent Financial's YouTube channel.
Oh, hail! No, I'm not cursing. That's the name of a terrific Dallas roofing company in business more than a decade. They handle residential or commercial properties. And those weird insurance forms that seem to be written in a foreign language? Oh, hail can simplify those for you also. So the next time something happens to your roof, just say, oh, hail. O-H-H-H-A-I-L. Ohail.com.
Hey, I was just wondering, do you know the history of goodness steak seasoning? Well, back in 2010, I had a little bitty roast sitting in the fridge, and I thought, man, I've got to do something with this. So I took that roast, put a whole bunch of different spices on it, wrapped it up, put it on that grill. About 3 hours later, opened it up, and man, heaven in a foil package. That was the beginning stages of what goodness steak seasoning is today. So if you'd like to have a little variety in your life, Goodness Steak Seasoning is where it's at. Limited availability in stores. BringTheTasty.com.
You know, the more I've considered the hiring of Mike Zimmer as the defensive coordinator from Mike McCarthy, the more it makes sense, not only for his job coordinating the defense, but what happens if the Cowboys start slowly? Well, then, I guess the possibility exists that Mike McCarthy doesn't make it through next year. It is the last year of his contract, after all. And in that case, Mike Zimmer would make a perfect interim replacement for Mike McCarthy, and maybe even head coach going forward past next year. Zimmer was a terrific coach for the Vikings. The only problem was he never got them a Super Bowl, and that's the way teams are measuring their coaches these days. If you don't win the Super Bowl, sooner or later you get fired, even if the consensus is that you're a very good football coach. Next, I'm puzzled by Luka Doncic's performance in the All-Star game. Luka is an incredible talent. And everybody in the league seems to know he's an incredible talent. He scores, he rebounds, he assists. And in the NBA All-Star games, fairly quickly, people like that get to be the star. In the All-Star games, where nobody plays defense, very often, each side will pick a player they believe to be deserving of elevation to the biggest stage in the NBA. But not Luka so far. In last weekend's NBA All-Star game, he rolled sevens. 7 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds. Now, 7-7-7 maybe a really good series if you're playing the slots in Las Vegas, but it doesn't get you attention, and Luka deserves attention. In his 5 All-Star games, he has totaled 35 points. I'm wondering just when this ascending star in the NBA will cut loose with a 35-point 12 assist, 12 rebound game in the All-Star game and get the MVP. But for now, Luka just seems happy with being there and just playing a secondary role. Next, You know, the question people love to ask all the time about the sports teams in their cities is, who will win a championship next? Last year, could we have ever imagined the answer to that question would be the Rangers? No. They had gone 0 for 52 seasons before last year. So, let's ask it again. Who's the most likely of the four teams here to win the championship of their league next? Careful now. It might be the Dallas Stars. I know you're thinking, the Rangers repeat, something like that. But the Stars could get to the throne room sooner than the Rangers. This Stars team is good. As I record this, they lead the Central. They have the second best record of the 16 teams in the NHL West and the fourth best record of the 32 teams in the league in total. And unlike other teams where injuries might hurt them, the Stars have a farm system just brimming with kids who already should be in the NHL, except that on this team, there's so much talent that there's not room for them right now. So, injuries should still really hurt them. You don't replace a Heiskanen or a Robertson or people like that. But this team, with good goaltending, good scoring, and a defense with just a little more need to be fortified, could hoist the Stanley Cup. And finally, I want to comment about a story that I know drives you fans crazy. Anthony Rendon is the 33-year-old third baseman for the Los Angeles Angels. This week, he came out and talked spring training about baseball, saying that for him, it's just a job, that faith and family come first. Well, let me tell you, that's true for all of us. Our faith and our family come first. But people don't want to hear that, paying big money to see you play. They don't want to look at you and think, he just dismisses this as just another job. And by the way, this isn't just another job. Rendon is in the middle of a $245 million contract. He still has 3 years and $114 million left on that contract. And by the way, Angels fans are incredibly frustrated by him getting injury after injury after injury. In the last 546 games, he has played 200 and missed 346. The fans don't want to hear this is just a job. It may be, but you know what? You take the bajillions of dollars they're giving you, and you can invest it in your faith. You can invest it in your family. People just don't want to hear that from professional athletes. Even though it might be the truth, they don't want to hear it. Might be the truth about some, by the way. Loads of athletes are incredibly dedicated to their sport. But I can hear Angels fans, baseball fans everywhere saying, hey, if it's just a job, then quit and give the $114 million left in the contract back to the Angels.
Today's episode has been brought to you by Fluent Financial, by Oh Hell Roofing, and by Goodness Steak Seasoning.
Just Wondering is a production of DSP Media for FanStream Sports. You can find Norm's show along with other great programming at fanstreamsports.com.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of Just Wondering. If you enjoyed it, please hit follow. Then each episode every weekday will be delivered straight to you. And if we might ask one more favor, please share it with friends. I'm Norm Hitzges, and every day I'll be just wondering about something.
And I'm Mary Hitchkus, and I'm just wondering too.